welcome to the World Battery Metals and Mining News for the 19th of July, 2024. Vedanta pays $246 million to regain Zambia copper mines. Vedanta Resources Limited has paid approximately $246 million to creditors to regain control of the Konkola copper mines in Zambia, marking an end to a 5-year dispute. This payment will allow for the reinstatement of the mine's board and the return of full management control to Vedanta, which plans to increase copper production to 300,000 tons annually and cobalt output to 6,000 tons. The settlement resolves a long-standing issue with the Zambian government and clears the way for significant investment and operational improvements. Vedanta's chief executive, Chris Griffith, highlighted plans to transform the mines into a leading copper and cobalt asset, while Mines Minister Paul Kabaswi confirmed an official handover is expected next week. Vedanta's commitment includes a $1 billion investment to double copper production and reduce the company's debt. Zambia asks mines to curtail normal power use by 40% amid crunch. Zambia has urged its mining companies to increase their power-saving efforts to 40% of normal demand as a severe drought impacts hydroelectric generation. The state power utility, ZESCO Limited, has asked operators to enhance power curtailments or source their own emergency power. First Quantum Minerals Limited, which produces over half of Zambia's copper, has managed to cover most of its demand through imports, reducing the burden on other mining companies to around 35%. While the power crisis could heighten production costs by adding approximately 0.6 cents per pound of copper, production has remained stable due to collaborative efforts between the mining industry and the government. To mitigate future power issues, First Quantum is supporting renewable electricity projects, including a power purchase agreement for wind and solar projects projected to generate 430 megawatts by late 2027 by Matthew Hill. Vale resumes operations at Salobo 3 after fire. Vale has resumed operations at its Salobo 3 processing plant in Pará, Brazil, after a suspension of 1 month following a conveyor belt fire. The mining giant confirmed that the copper production guidance for 2024 remains at 320,000 to 355,000 tons. Salobo's capacity hit 32 million tons annually in 2023, with plans to boost capacity to 36 million tons per year by the last quarter of 2024 through a $1.1 billion expansion project initiated in 2019. Located in Carajás, Vale holds the largest copper deposit ever discovered in Brazil at over 1 billion tons. Copper price set for worst week since 2022 as China plenum disappoints. Copper is set for its largest weekly decline since 2022, dropping about 5% in London as China's policy meeting offered no new stimulus to boost metal demand. This decline, driven by concerns over China's economic growth and a stronger U.S. dollar, has also affected other metals such as aluminum, tin, and nickel. Disappointment among investors over the lack of significant policy shifts to address economic issues, particularly in China's property sector, further weighed on market sentiment. Global copper inventories have surged, reaching their highest level since September 2021, with significant stockpiles in Asian warehouses. A 7.4 magnitude earthquake in Chile's mining region is also being closely watched by metals traders. Meanwhile, iron ore has continued its slide, nearing $100 a ton due to the gloomy demand outlook and increased production from major miners. Boliden's Q2 earnings disappoint, despite near 5-fold rise. Swedish mining company Boliden announced a significant rise in core earnings for the second quarter, driven by a one-off insurance payout related to a smelter fire last year, despite falling short of market expectations due to poor zinc and copper production. The company's shares fell 9% as operating profit reached 4 billion Swedish crowns, $375 million, still 10% below consensus forecasts. The underperformance was attributed to weak production in the mining division, particularly at the Aitik copper mine. Higher metal prices did boost earnings, but lower treatment charges and metal premiums were detrimental. CEO Mikael Staffas acknowledged issues with global concentrate production and ramp-up challenges, but remained optimistic about long-term demand for metals amidst electrification trends. Chile copper, lithium mines rattled by 7.4 magnitude quake. A 7.4 magnitude earthquake struck northern Chile near San Pedro de Atacama on Thursday night, affecting a region known for its significant copper and lithium mining operations. The U.S. Geological Survey reported the main quake at 9:50 p.m. local time, followed by at least 5 aftershocks measuring between 4.2 and 5 in magnitude. Despite the powerful tremors leading to shaken homes and power outages, no immediate injuries or major damages were reported. Key mining operations in the area include Escondida, the world's largest copper mine, and several state-owned mines. The earthquake raised concerns about lithium supply disruptions, impacting significant producers like Albemarle and SQM, who operate near the epicenter. This event occurred shortly after the USGS's first global study on earthquake risks to mineral supplies and follows other minor quakes in the region. Chile, prone to frequent seismic activity, has robust preparedness measures, which typically mitigate major destruction. Congo's South Kivu governor suspends mining operations in province. The governor of the Democratic Republic of Congo's South Kivu province has announced the suspension of all mining activities in the region due to disorder caused by the mining operators. Governor Jean-Jacques Purusi-Sadiki ordered that all mining companies, businesses, and cooperatives vacate their sites within 72 hours. This decision impacts the region's artisanal miners, major producers of metals such as gold and tin. Some experts and local operators criticize the move as illegal and an abuse of power, urging the mines minister to intervene. The governor has also called for a meeting with mining operators on July 30th to discuss the matter further. Gold stocks to overshoot gold miners' stocks have experienced a significant surge, breaking through previous highs and yet still remain undervalued compared to the metal they mine. Despite the recent rally, gold stocks need to rise further to align with current gold prices, driven by momentum buying. This undervaluation, highlighted by extreme valuation metrics, suggests a disproportionate upcoming rally. Historical trends show gold stocks tend to amplify gold's price moves, with recent data indicating strong profitability driven by higher gold prices and relatively stable mining costs. The gold stock pendulum, reflecting cyclical market behavior, is currently swinging back from an extreme anomaly, pointing to substantial potential gains ahead. Upcoming quarterly results are expected to show record profits for major gold miners, which could attract significant investment and fuel further price increases. The recent surge in gold prices and expected continued momentum suggests that gold stocks are poised for substantial gains, further amplified by potential shifts in investor focus from high-flying tech stocks to undervalued gold assets. Zimbabwe may sell 40% stake in a key gold mine to raise capital. Zimbabwe's state-owned Kuvimba mining house is actively seeking equity partners and financiers to raise capital for expanding its gold and lithium production. The company is contemplating selling a 40% stake in the historic Shamva gold mine and is open to significant but not majority investments. Kuvimba aims to raise around $150 million to develop Shamva into an open-cast mine and build a processing plant, as well as extend the lifespan of the Frida Rebecca gold mine. The financing could come through equity partnerships or debt, although negotiations are still in early stages. Additionally, Kuvimba is in discussions to secure funding for a lithium plant at its Sandawana mine, while its Bindura Nickel Corp asset remains under administration following operational challenges. Kuvimba's gold mines produced 95,000 ounces last year. ArcelorMittal says dissident workers still protesting in Mexican plant. Steelmaker ArcelorMittal reported that a faction of dissident workers is continuing an illegal blockade at its facilities in Michoacán, Mexico, following a 55-day stoppage that ended when workers approved a new settlement with a pay hike. The company highlighted that these acts of violence are endangering worker safety. The initial blockade began in late May, with protests over profit distribution, halting all activities at the plant. As of last year, ArcelorMittal, one of the world's largest steel and mining firms, generated over $68 billion in sales.